All right, so we are live and we're gonna get started in just a moment. How are you doing, Uncle?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome, Warren. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm excited about the topic for today. We're gonna be talking about something that many don't really think about when they first, they take the first steps and building and designing things online. So I'm sure people are gonna be excited about what we have to share with them today.
Yeah, it's very important points that everyone should consider when preparing a new page, new website, new lead capture page, whatever they need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share this on our group. For those who don't know, we do have a community where we talk about web stuff, apps. We share tactics, strategies, things to consider. It's called Be the One. You're welcome to join. It's free. And we're going to get started in just a second over here. Okay, let's go. So again, this is our digital mastery call. This is the third. We do this every other Wednesday. We start at 2 o'clock Eastern. So you're welcome to join. Again, it's free. You can mark it in your calendar. And we post it in our group so you can also follow along there. So the recording will be available later too. Today we have an interesting subject we want to talk about. It's really about the fundamental. You gotta first understand before you pursue anything online. Usually building a website or a landing page or something like that. That's really going to be the focus of today's call. And what we found is many times people are getting really entangled with what they want to talk about their company, their message they want to share, but they forget the most important point, which is, not necessarily about just talking about yourself. It's how you bring your message to your audience so they can actually be engaged with you. So we're going to talk about that and show an example on how to make that happen so you can take that and hopefully being able to even implement some of these things we're going to be discussing today yourself. With that, so again, I'm Oran. I'm building websites for more than a decade now, and we run a company called IQSay. And I have here with me Nanko, who is our project manager, and has also been with me for the last 5 years, and seen everything from app development to web development to design. So I'm happy to have him here. Hi Nanko, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine, Warren. Actually, I'm awesome. Uh, that was very good introduction. Thank you for this. And yeah, I've been working with you for the past 5, 6 years already, and it was an awesome experience.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's going to be excited to see what you have to say. So let's just get started. So the first thing that we found when we first talked to a client is we're trying to understand what we call the story, and that's going to be a topic of our conversation today. It's about how to build a story around what is that you're trying to convey using different digital tools, and specifically today, landing pages and websites. Um, we when we work with a client, we have a series of questions, and we actually have done an episode on that on the first one, which is available for you to watch in the group that I said earlier. So it will help you kind of like understand the tactics, like the step-by-step process on making it happen. But let's talk about what is even a story when we talk about it. So when we say a story, we mean that your webpage is a conversation piece. Okay, somebody goes online, they look up, your website, they want to interact with you, they wanna understand what is this, you're all about. So you want to share a message that is engaging, that is interesting, that is relevant to the person that is basically there to get that information from you. So there is a book called the Story Brand Script, and the Story Brand book is basically teaches you the 7 elements that requires to truly capture someone's attention and get them engaged in the process of of buying from your brand, learning about your brand, and engaging with your products and services. We're not obviously going to talk about this entire book right now. We may even leave a link for it at the bottom for those of you who want to dive deeper and read from it and read about it. But today I want to talk about the main thing that makes a the difference between just any website out there and a great website. So the first thing that we learn from the book is that a great website is something that puts the visitor as the hero. Okay, the visitor is the hero, and what we see that many times companies, they first you go to the website and you see a lot of information about the company or about the product, but you don't really get the sense that they're talking about you as the visitor, as the potential customer. So when we look on a website, we don't want to see a company talk about themselves, right? We don't want to see a company just share about all their awards and stuff. These things are important maybe down in the page to build trust. But what you really want to do is understand what is the mindset of that web visitor right now when they're coming in, and really get that feeling when, connect with them on an emotional level when they come to your website. So these are a couple things that I'm going to show you with you very shortly. So first of all, we already covered. So the customer is the hero. So if the customer is the hero of the story, then what are the challenges of the customer? What are the struggles? Where are they right now mentally, physically, emotionally, philosophically, and start coming up with a message that meets the customer where they are. Don't talk about yourself yet. And you want to really design your website in such a way that it talks about, from the first fold to all the things about the product and services, lead the customer to really understand that what you have for them is truly designed for them, and it's not just you trying to sell something, rather it's the customer just going on a buying journey. Because we like to say that people love to buy, but nobody likes to be being sold, right? So that's what we're trying to create here, a really fun and engaging buying experience by learning about your product and services in the process. And I hope that makes sense to some of you. Nanko, I know you also had some pointers from the book, so before we dive into the page to the actual example, is there something you want to share?
I just want to add that the idea is to tell a story that way, so the the visitor is inspired, and he understands what you want to tell him, and get excited about the product or the service that you're offering. That's the whole idea. And the idea is that there are some tactics that people are using to create movies, and based on those tactics we implement that in the building a web page.
Exactly. So I think to kind of like make it makes more sense, we're just going to jump into I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you a website that we actually have done, I would say a couple of years ago. And I like to always bring examples from the past, because what we like to say, when you spend the time and custom design a website, it can live a long time. You don't have necessarily to change it every few months or every year. So let me share my screen right now, and we're going to dive right into it. Here we go. So this company specifically, it's nothing too fancy. They are a lawn care service provider. They're basically, providing a better experience to taking care of your lawn, taking care of different dried spots and spots that maybe don't recover. There's special ways to do it. And we were really trying to have a conversation with this with the founder and understand what the experience that someone needs to have when they first go on the website, and what is the frustration. So we know that what we got from him back then, a lot of people, they tried multiple lawn care service provider. They either don't like their, just the experience of working with them, or they just don't get the results that they want. When they have an issue where something is not working right, the company, let's say they have a dried spots or something that just continuously looking yellow and really doesn't look right. The company just come in every time, puts more materials, but the problem never really gets fixed. And they're really unique in that point where they truly come in, they create a complete recipe on how to make sure your lawn will always look amazing. And when you truly have a problem, they have a method on how to fix it, so you don't have to continuously call them and just have someone put more materials, which doesn't actually work. So with that being said, when you think about it, who is the customer here, right? And the customer is somebody that simply have a problem, and the problem is that they're not happy with their lawn. Okay, they're going outside, maybe maybe they have kids, maybe they have neighbors, whatever, but they're not happy with the lawn. They're not excited every day looking outside the window at what they have. And the thing about that unique item is not that you're just not excited about the lawn, is that they may even have someone taking care of their lawn and they're still not happy. And that's the real point. And this is why we didn't want to be cute about it. We didn't want to be, indirect. We want to be really clear and connect with the customer. And that's why when you look at that page on the first fold over here, it says, we transform this to this. And there's a couple things that I like to mention here that I'm sure this is very self-explanatory at the same time, but I do want to emphasize a couple points to tell you kind of like from a design standpoint what we chose to do. So first of all, obviously, let's start with the right side. So we have here the before and after, because it's so easy to see the difference, right? To understand that, okay, I know exactly what they're doing. They're changing this thing to this thing. So me as the customer talking to me, is that what I want? Is that what I desire? If that's what it is, that I'm in the right place. So first of all, we got that. But also, there is a nice play from a subliminal standpoint on a messaging, font, and color. So you can look here, we have the word this, and when I put my mouse over, you can see how it shows me the before. And when I put this, you see how it shows me the after. And what we've done here, we use the color as we go through the rest of the page. You're going to see that this yellow-orange color is going to continue show the negative stuff about your lawn and the things you want to get rid of, and the green, which is what you want to get, right, is going to start showing all the positive things you want to get, you want to attain by getting this, this specific service. So that's first. Second, we always like to have a short, kind of like 2 to 3 sentences in the first fold. Set the standard of outstanding yard with ultra green, very clear. Again, just to communicate kind of like what's going on, making it effortless to have the best lawn in the neighborhood. Again, when we talk about the neighborhood, now it's not just about the company being the best, it's about the way your home looks like in a neighborhood. Get and accumulate green lawn that's brown free, bug free, weed free, without lifting a finger. Again, very clear. If in marketing, if you confuse, you lose, right? So this is very clear. It's right there. It explains exactly what it is. And then we have 2 call to actions. Let's talk a little bit about that. So from a story standpoint, when you have 2 call to action, it's like, think about it like when you are in the dating world, right? When you first meet someone, whether it's a friend or somebody you're interested in actually building like an intimate relationship with, there's 2 levels. There's the moment where you get to know each other and you kind of like exchange information and so on. And then there's the point that you take the next step. So that next step in their case is that when you pick a plan, right? But sometimes people are not ready for that next step right away. So we want to give them another option. We want to give them an option to maybe speak with someone first, okay? So that way we're catering to 2 types of people. Those that are ready to take action right now, those that are interested but need a little bit more time to build trust, rapport, and so on. As we continue to go down, we also have a phone number. And the reason why we have that, it's very important to provide different ways for people to connect with you as a company. And honestly, the more the better. Again, you don't want to necessarily maybe overpopulate your page with call to action, because that's going to be confusing. And for those who don't know, a call to action is basically either a button or something that calls someone to take action. So we have here also the phone number, because specifically in this business, a lot of time people just want to pick up the phone and call right away. Again, we make it very easy. You can pick a plan, you can speak with a pro, which takes you to where you can schedule the call. For those who like to do things digitally, for those who prefer to just pick up the phone and dial a number, they have this option as well right here. As we go in with the rest of the page,
just before you continue there, I want to mention something that I believe it's very important for every homepage of the website, is that when there is a visitor, that visitor, you have up to 5 seconds to show to that visitor what you offer, how this makes my life better, and how to buy. Those are the 3 key points that you need to cover. And the most important thing is to make sure that the visitor will understand within those 5 seconds what exactly you offer. If you fail to do that, which is happening on many websites right now, is that people just click the X button. And the way that this is covered here is, as you mentioned, uh, we have what, how, and how it makes my life better, and how to buy. So what is that they offer brown free, bug free, and wheat free. That's the what. Then we have how it makes my life better. It's the effortless, that someone else is doing it for you. And how to buy, as you said, the two buttons, which we give option to buy now, or another more not straight approach, that they can speak with a person first and then maybe get more information, and then they may decide if they want to buy it. So yeah, those are the points that I believe are crucial here. And as you mentioned, the before and after, that's actually one of the points that makes this section, um, that provides the details for the visitor to understand what exactly they are offering.
Exactly. And I just got some messages now, Ko, as we're going through it, that not everybody necessarily was able to see, depending where they're watching this live, the screen we're actually sharing. So I'm just going to quickly take a 10-second recap over here about what we show, because now they can see it. So again, when we're talking about, the first thing was the before and after, which is what people are interested in. You can see here how we created it on the right side. And also on the left side, we were talking about the play with the colors and the font, making the orange, yellow, as we get throughout the rest of the page. Throughout it, you're going to be able to see that we use that color. It's kind of like for the negative stuff, and using the green for the positive stuff. When you put your mouse over it, you can see it also affects the right side. And again, these are different tactics. And again, planting the seed with some sort of UI UX language is going to carry us throughout the rest of the page. And UI UX, basically what it means, it's a user interface, user experience. And basically what it means, it's web design in simple terms. So now that everybody can see it, let's continue scrolling now to the rest of the page. Now we're talking about now redefining the standard. Now we're talking about the different benefits and the different things you can get from that service. So again, really focusing about what makes their product different, but at the same time, what is that important, because what are you going to get as a customer from that? For example, a dedicated account manager. That's an important part if you're coming from a bad experience, that every time you talk to someone else in the company and people promising you something that's not really delivering you in the result, here you're going to have the same contact, the same person to deal with every single time. Especially the people that take their long game seriously, they care about that. And again, as you go through, you can see the coloring, what I talked about, and from a brand language standpoint, how everything is positioned nicely. Again, this creates a sense of trust in the process. It creates a sense of, okay, this company is different, it's unique. And also when you invest in web design, your customers see that and they appreciate that, and they feel more, again, somebody, they invest in their stuff, usually they care about it. So a lot of times also, it carry forwards to their work as well. And so it shows that, this company will deliver good services. And then when I was mentioning earlier at the top, we're talking about how it's starting to create this color language, where we have orange stuff. It's usually the negative part, and you can see here we start using the same orange color over here, and also when we're talking about mosquito control. So again, really touching all the points. So now, wherever you are from a customer standpoint, where you find yourself, struggling with, you can clearly come here and find something that will speak to you, and basically answer one of the problems that you have. Because for each person it may be different. Another point that I want to mention, we didn't just decide to write things on the page. We also used icons. So those icons really speak another language. Some people are more visual, some like to read, some both. So you have kind of like, from a psychology standpoint, you're really triggering all the neurons in the mind to go through and be able to interpret and understand what we're actually looking at. As we go through the rest of the page, and this is something that we mentioned in previous call. We're basically talking about the process of the company, okay? And this is something that also related to the story brand that we mentioned earlier in that book. One of the things you gotta give people is a plan that can execute on action. So let's go a couple steps back and talk about our hero, which our hero is our customer. And our customer has a challenge that they need to overcome. And with that challenge they need to overcome, someone needs to present them with a plan that will help them to overcome that challenge. So here we're presenting the plan that is very easy to execute, which is basically there's going to be an assessment, we're going to pick the right plan, we're going to have a treatment every 4 to 6 weeks, and then there is a quality control inspection done. And now you present. Now obviously this is very simple from a word standpoint. Like there is nothing too sophisticated here, as you can see, because the goal is not to be sophisticated. The goal is to be clear and for people to come on a page and easily understand and build the trust with the company. Now, from more of a, I would say, just a psychology standpoint, and there is another great book called Selling the Invisible. So especially if you're in the services business, this would be important to you. You want to show people what it would look like when they are about to, buy your services or your product. Because here's the thing. Let's say I want to go and I want to get a new haircut, right? In order for me to do that, first I have to have the thought in my mind. I have to imagine myself, sitting with my barber and then going through the process, and only then I take action on it. Then when the thought comes, I imagine it, I know what it looks like, it's not unknown anymore. Then I pick up the phone, call my barber, and then I schedule the appointment. This is really important because when somebody first hear about the services and products, and especially if it's not necessarily something that is, like, let's say, especially if you're doing something innovative in the space that not everybody's necessarily aware about, you want to tell people what the process is like. We call that turning on the light switch. You want to explain people what are the steps someone has to take to achieve success with your service. Because otherwise it's just unknown, and people don't take action before they can first imagine themselves taking that action. That makes sense to some of you. So with that, we have those steps over here. And from a story standpoint, again, as we tell story on landing page, it's that plan that someone needs to receive as the hero, that now they know what are the steps that's going to happen, that whether they need to execute on or whether they're going to interact with somebody and executing that with them on that plan in order to achieve that desired outcome they want. And as we get through the rest of the page, we're going to kind of quickly cover it, because really up to now I was able to, Nanko and I were able to truly cover most of what we wanted to share today, which is understanding that when you build a landing page, a website, even just a screen, even a brochure, understand your customers, where they are physically, mentally, philosophically, emotionally, all those layers, and write it down and really walk a mile in their shoes. And today with AI, you can do a lot of these exercises very quickly, and then come up with something that truly means something to your customers. Because when it means something, then you have that emotional connections, and people act not necessarily when something is logically right. They first need to feel that it makes sense. They need to feel, and then they find all the reasons to basically validate a decision they already made based on a feeling. So again, I know I'm going a little bit farther here, but this is kind of like how you want to imagine it. So really think about the feeling that someone has, make them the hero, make them feel that they are the hero, show them that you are the guy, that you are either that person or that company or that service that can truly show them the way to achieve what they want to achieve. And through that, by going through that process, whether it's by using your product or services, they can get what they always wanted. Here again, just from a design standpoint, to give a bit extra, we can see that we have different plans, and again, very easy and nice way, again, keeping a nice brand language. Again, you guys can go to this website and get some kind of like design idea. It's called myultragreen.com. And as we go the rest of the page, we're talking about the the founder, who's behind it, Caleb Alt, who's a client for several years now, and it was wonderful to work with him on this page. So you can check out this website. And then we have testimonials. Now, what is testimonials? What they serve. They are more like an opportunity for you to show somebody and build that social proof that, if you have a problem and you're considering what I have to offer, let me show you other people that it's been through the same challenges that you have used the same thing or follow the same process and achieved their desired outcome. Okay, that's really what a testimonial is supposed to help you communicate. And Nanko, is there anything else you want to share before we close today's session?
Yeah, so actually you mentioned the authority and the social proof, which are very good points, and those two sections are covering both of them. I wanted to mention that when you build a website for some, in this case it's service, but it may be a product, it doesn't matter. When you build it, you need to build it based on knowing what your customer is, because if you build it based on everyone is my customer, then no one is going to be your customer. The idea is that no one is going to connect with that content because it is so broadly brought together that it won't resonate with anyone. And the idea to know your customer is that there are three levels of conflict: the external, internal, and philosophical. In this specific website, the external is the weed proven, mosquito control, no brown, and etc. Like all of the visual stuff that you can see. The internal thing is all the hustle that you need to do it yourself in case that's in case you don't use another service, then you need to do it yourself, and you have the hustle to do it. So that's the internal conflict that you're overcoming. And the philosophical is that the hero wants to get a premium grade treatment, which this company is offering. So if the hero, the visitor, is resonating with those 3 points, then the probability for that person to become a client is very high. And that's the whole idea, to present the story that way, so that the visitor can see itself there, to experience it, to say, yeah, that's exactly what I need, to feel that the story is matching his internal vision.
Yeah, I love everything you just said. This is really another layer of clarification, and I really appreciate it, Nanko. That's awesome. And I really think that with that strong note, it really sums up a lot of information already for somebody to be able to execute. So we really, hope you liked what you saw today. We're doing it every Wednesday, every other Wednesday at 2 o'clock Eastern. So feel free to join us and join also our group, which is Be The One. So if you want to build, if you have a company or you want to create a company and you want to be that, we want to be the one, which means basically be that brand, that company that everyone else compares themselves to, like not being a follower, but being a leader in your space, then join the group. We're talking about a lot of different things, both from a business standpoint and then how to implement them on the web, on the digital side of things. So again, thank you so much for joining us. This is our 3rd Digital Mastery Call. We'll be here again, and we'll see you all very soon. Thank you, Nanko.
Thank you for watching. Thank you, Oron, and see you next time.
Bye, everybody.